Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. This is the showdown basketball fans have battled over for decades. We built two hyper-competitive AIs. One channels Jordan's killer instinct, the other embodies LeBron's all-around brilliance. 5 neutral AI judges are scoring every claim on impact, evidence, and flair. The scoreboard promises jaw-dropping numbers and a shocking result. First question on the table. Clutch Gene. When the game's on the line, who do you trust to deliver? Both AIs are loaded with highlights and heartbreaks. Let's see who draws first blood.
Last 5 seconds, tie game. I'm the one you want holding the ball. LeBron has more playoff buzzer beaters than anyone, even more than MJ. He's hit 5 game-winning playoff buzzer shots to Jordan's 3. Clutch isn't just a feeling, it's facts. In elimination games, LeBron's averages skyrocket, approximately 34 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. How about the 3-1 finals comeback in 2016? Down to the wire, LeBron delivered the greatest clutch comeback ever. And clutch isn't only scoring. Remember that chase down block in Game 7 of the 2016 finals? Title-saving play. You call that a lack of killer instinct? That's a new breed of clutch. Not just hitting a shot, but doing everything to win.
Clutch? You're talking to the original clutch legend. Jordan made the word mythic. Final seconds. Everyone in the arena knows MJ's taking the shot, and he still drops it in. The 1989 shot over Elo? Iconic. Game 6 of the 98 finals. Championship on the line. Jordan steals the ball and nails the dagger with 5 seconds left. That's killer instinct. 6 finals, 6 wins, 6 times he sealed the deal with finals MVPs. He never even needed a Game 7 in the finals, because Jordan ended teams before they got that far. Don't forget the flu game in '97. 38 points while basically half dead. When everything's at stake, MJ's will to win is otherworldly. LeBron's had clutch moments, sure, but he also disappeared in the 2011 finals, passed up critical shots, and bricked key free throws. Killer instinct isn't making the right play. It's making the play that breaks your opponent's heart. Jordan lived for that.
Ooh, personal digs already, and we're just warming up. The AI judges lock in their first scores. Which legend draws first blood on the scoreboard? Attention, please. The internet is a noisy place. Subscribe so you don't miss when more AI debates like this. Round 1 isn't over. The clutch gene goes beyond buzzer beaters. Who rises when their team's back is against the wall?
You want sustained clutch dominance? LeBron's been to 10 finals. More chances to shine on the biggest stage. He even has the only finals Game 7 triple-double ever. 2016, 27, 11, 11. Talk about delivering under pressure. And how about making teammates clutch too? He trusted Ray Allen in 2013 to hit that miracle 3. Smart play. Championship saved. Jordan fans act like passing is weakness, but setting up the right shot is next level clutch. LeBron led the 2016 finals in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. Literally every category, because he'll do whatever it takes when it matters most. That's clutch in capital letters.
Nice history lesson, but Jordan wrote the book on delivering under pressure. Finals Game 7s? Jordan didn't need a Game 7 to close out championships. He went 6 for 6, usually finishing teams in Game 6. In the one winner-take-all he faced in the East, 92 Conference Finals, he dropped 42 points to send the Cavs home. His team didn't need him filling every stat. They needed his leadership in scoring when it counted, and he gave it to them every time. And making teammates clutch? Jordan set up John Paxson in 93 and Steve Kerr in 97 for title-winning shots after drawing the double. He had the awareness to dish, but only when it was the absolute right call. The difference? MJ never shrank from the moment. LeBron's 2013 miracle required a teammate's 3 because he'd missed his own clutch shot right before. Jordan would have nailed it on the first try. When the pressure cooker's about to explode, give me the guy who never lets it reach Game 7.
The judges are shuffling papers on that exchange. Did LeBron's all-around heroics top Jordan's no-nonsense finishing? This chapter's getting spicy, and we're not done. One more clutch showdown, mental game and killer will.
Clutch isn't only about stats, it's about making the right play under pressure. LeBron's basketball IQ in crunch time is off the charts. He'll read the double team, find the open man, or get the defensive stop that flips momentum. Remember 2016 Finals Game 7. Instead of forcing a bad shot, he hunted down Iguodala's layup and blocked it. The turning point. Jordan was a scorer, sure, but LeBron can beat you with a pass, a block, or a bucket. That versatility under under pressure is a clutch gene. MJ never had to flex because he always just took the shot. And mentally, coming back from the 2011 failure to delivering Cleveland a title in 2016 showed epic resilience. He's faced more scrutiny in the social media era and still came through. Call him King James. In do or die moments, he wears that crown.
Clutch IQ? Jordan had it, plus a ruthless streak LeBron never matched. When a game was tight, MJ didn't hope someone else would step up. He knew he would. LeBron's block was amazing, but notice how you keep naming other guys. Ray Allen, Kyrie, Iguodala, when talking about LeBron's clutch moments. With Jordan, it's just Jordan. He wasn't kicking out in the finals. He was creating his own shot and sinking it. And mental fortitude? Jordan played in an era of brutal defense and zero load management. He'd take a beating and still drop 30. He even manufactured slights to fuel his competitive rage. You know what he told his team before that 98 game winner? I'm taking this. That's alpha confidence. LeBron is great, but he's lost finals multiple times despite monster stats. Sometimes being clutch means imposing your will so your numbers become wins. Jordan's will never broke. LeBron has admitted he doubted himself after 2011. Jordan would never.
Both sides trading haymakers till the final buzzer of Chapter 1. The judges are calculating the clutch factor. Which legend takes an early lead? And that's the buzzer on the clutch. It's tight after Chapter 1, but this game's just warming up. Next quarter, championships. Do rings settle the GOAT debate, or is there more to the story? Stay tuned. This battle is far from over. Let's go with championships. Jordan's 6-0 finals record versus LeBron's 4 rings in an era of super teams. Does the GOAT debate end with the ring count?
6 rings looks great, but let's talk context. LeBron battled through 3 eras of competition and still grabbed 4 championships with 3 different teams. He didn't stay in one comfort zone. He won in Cleveland, Miami, and LA, dragging very different squads to the top. Jordan won all 6 with Phil Jackson coaching and Scottie Pippen at his side. LeBron had to face juggernauts, prime Tim Duncan's Spurs, and the Warriors with 4 All-Stars, including a 73-win edition. He still took down that 73-9 Warriors team in 2016. That ring is worth 2 of anyone else's, and making 10 finals in 17 seasons. That's sustained excellence. You call 4 out of 10 a knock. I call reaching 10 finals an insane achievement in itself. He owned the East for a decade. Championships aren't a solo stat. It's a team game. Often, LeBron was the team. Remember in 2007, he carried a lackluster Cavs roster to the finals at age 22. Give him the kind of supporting cast Jordan had, and the ring count might look very different.
Excuses, excuses. Jordan had to get through Hall of Fame hurdles too. The bad boy Pistons, Bird Celtics, and once he broke through, he never let anyone dethrone him. 6 finals, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, perfection. LeBron going 4 for 10 is impressive, but it also means 6 times he fell short on the biggest stage. And super teams? LeBron engineered the first modern super team by fleeing to Miami to team up with 2 stars just to get his first rings. Jordan never left Chicago to chase a ring. He built a dynasty from within. Don't pretend Jordan's path was easy. He took out Magic Johnson, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, a whole generation of greats. His Bulls were so dominant that guys like Ewing and Reggie Miller retired without a ring. That's GOAT impact. Meanwhile, LeBron's final stumbles? In 2011, he collapsed against an underdog Mavs team. In 2014, his Heat got blown off the court by the Spurs in 5. And 2017 and 2018, sure, Durant's Warriors were stacked, but a true GOAT finds a way to at least put up more fight. 6 is greater than 4, period.
The judges are noting the ring math and the ring context. Is an undefeated finals record the trump card, or do era differences even it out? Don't leave your seats yet. We're digging deeper into the story behind those trophies.
Championships are team achievements, so let's talk about how those teams were built. Jordan had a Hall of Fame sidekick for all 6 titles and one of the greatest coaches ever. LeBron often was the system, especially in Cleveland. He's carried mediocre rosters to the finals multiple times, and when he did have star teammates, he turned them into champions in completely different organizations. That adaptability is huge. Also, level of competition. Jordan never faced a finals opponent as loaded as the 2016 Warriors or the Spurs dynasty. The 90s finals foes were great, but none had 4 All-Stars or a duo like Steph and KD. If LeBron cared only about ring count, he could have stayed in the easier East his whole career. Instead, he went West at 35 and still got a ring in a tougher conference. He chases challenges, not just easy rings.
Rewriting history, are we? Jordan didn't need to team hop because he made Chicago the center of the basketball universe. He was the challenge others failed to overcome. And please, the Jazz with Stockton and Malone, the 62-win Suns, the 64-win Sonics, those were no cupcakes. You talk about the Warriors. LeBron beat them once, but lost to them twice. Jordan wouldn't have lost to the same finals opponent multiple times, and LeBron being the system isn't a compliment. When Jordan stepped away in '94, the Bulls still won 55 games. He had built a culture of winning with Pippen's help. When LeBron leaves a team, it craters. Cleveland went from the finals to 19 wins without him. You call that adaptability. I call it dependency. And about coaching, LeBron had Pat Riley's championship ethos in Miami and still went 2 for 4 in the finals. Jordan had one coach, one team, and maximized every single year at his peak.
The trophy case debate is heating up. Are rings the true measure, or just shiny objects without context? Judges, what do you say? Final stretch on championships, the legacy behind those rings.
LeBron's titles each carry unique weight, delivering a championship to Cleveland in 2016, ending a 52-year city drought. That alone is legendary. Down 3-1, he led the greatest finals comeback ever. Jordan's rings were expected once he started winning. LeBron's often came with the world doubting him, and he still rose up. And even in some losses, look at 2015. He led both teams in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, practically willing an injury-riddled squad to a Game 6. 4 rings might be fewer, but look at the journeys. Forging a Big 3 in Miami, a storybook homecoming in Cleveland, and a bubble title in LA under surreal conditions. Quality of rings over sheer quantity.
Every ring has a story, but 6 is a saga no one's surpassed. Jordan's championship legacy is simple. When he was at his peak, nobody else got a parade. That dominance mentally crushed the league. Yes, LeBron's 2016 was historic, but Jordan's 1996 comeback from baseball was just as storybook. 72 wins and a title on Father's Day, honoring his late dad. And Jordan never had an asterisk on his legacy. No bubble quirks, just dominance year after year. It's great that LeBron delivered for Cleveland, but Jordan delivered for an entire era. He set the gold standard. If he was on the court, everyone knew the title went through him. That mindset, that anything less than a ring is failure, is why 6 beats 4. The GOAT doesn't accept second place.
Both sides flashing jewelry and battle scars. Judges, lock in those scores for Chapter 2. Who gains ground in the ring rumble? Halftime score check. Jordan's side still ahead, powered by that perfect ring record. But this game isn't over. Up next, a new arena. Longevity and records. Can long-term greatness outshine peak perfection? Stick around. The debate continues. Time to talk about longevity and records. Is the GOAT the player with the higher peak, or the one who sustained greatness the longest?
LeBron's longevity is unprecedented. In year 20, he's still performing at an All-NBA level. Nobody has dominated for so long. He just passed Kareem as the all-time leading scorer, a record many thought unbreakable. First in points, top 5 in assists, top 10 in steals. He's basically rewriting the record book by sticking around and producing. 17 straight years averaging 25-plus points. Jordan only played 15 seasons total, including his age 40 comeback. LeBron's longevity isn't just hanging on, it's prime production for 2 decades. He's the only player ever with 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. That's GOAT-level versatility sustained over time. His conditioning and consistency are legendary. He even led the league in scoring in year 18. Longevity means he kept his teams in contention across multiple eras. You can't be the GOAT if your greatness only lasts a blink. LeBron built an empire of stats and records that will stand for decades.
Greatness isn't a marathon if your peak can lap everyone else. Jordan's prime might have been shorter, but it burned brighter. He dominated the 90s, then walked away on top, twice. He didn't need 20 seasons to stake his claim. In basically 13 seasons with Chicago, he accomplished more than anyone. 10 scoring titles, LeBron has 1. Career 30.1 points per game, highest ever. And in the playoffs, MJ was even better. 33.4 PPG, also the highest ever. LeBron's longevity stats are amazing, but a lot of those numbers pile up from playing forever. Jordan hit GOAT benchmarks in a fraction of the time. When he retired, the second time in 1998, He was the all-time playoff scoring leader despite far fewer games. LeBron only passed him by playing nearly double the playoff games. Also, longevity has a flip side. Are we counting the years LeBron missed the playoffs or bowed out early? Jordan, in his prime, never missed the postseason. When he played full seasons, he was either winning titles or making deep runs every year. And don't overlook defense. Jordan was all defense 9 times to LeBron's 6, and MJ won a Defensive Player of the Year. He wasn't coasting on one end to extend his career. The GOAT standard is how high your peak was, not just how long you stick around.
The battle of endurance versus intensity. The judges are weighing total records against peak dominance. Don't catch your breath yet. We're still sprinting through this debate. What about adaptability and evolution over a career?
LeBron evolved his game to remain elite. He came in as an athletic phenom and became a master strategist. Early on, he was known as a slasher. By year 19, he won a scoring title, largely with jump shots. He played point guard one season, then led the league in scoring as a forward, whatever his team needed. That flexibility allowed him to stay on top. Jordan was great, but his style didn't have to evolve as much because he wasn't around into his late 30s at a high level. LeBron's longevity also means he faced every play style and trend, from grinded out 2000 basketball to pace and space three-point barrages, and conquered them all. Adapting and still dominating makes his case even stronger.
Jordan didn't need to reinvent himself every few years because his game was timeless. He mastered the fundamentals: footwork, mid-range, post moves, which aged like fine wine. Even at 35, in his final Bulls season, he led the league in scoring. And let's not pretend Jordan didn't adapt. Young MJ was a high flyer. Later, MJ used that fadeaway jumper to torture defenses. He just condensed his evolution into a shorter window. Also, longevity stats can turn into compiling. Sure, LeBron's totals are massive, but he also has more seasons with wear and tear and a couple of pedestrian, by his standards, years late in his career. Jordan's story is almost mythic. Come in, dominate, leave on top, no prolonged decline in the spotlight. Those Wizards years at age 39 to 40 weren't prime MJ, but even then, he dropped 20 points per game. The point is, his legacy didn't need extra chapters for padding. The original saga was enough.
Endurance versus explosiveness. Evolution versus consistency. A tough call. Judges, final scores for Chapter 3? 3 chapters down, and Jordan's side is clinging to a lead. Now it's time to zoom out. Who ruled their era more definitively? Chapter 4 takes us to era dominance. Now let's talk about era dominance. Who owned their time in the league more completely? Jordan in the 90s or LeBron in the 2010s?
LeBron's reign spans multiple eras, but look at the 2010s. 8 straight finals appearances. He was basically a permanent fixture in June, dragging different teams through an evolving league landscape. In his era, super teams became the norm, yet LeBron still found ways to emerge from his conference year after year. He conquered the East so thoroughly that no one else got a finals ticket for a decade. And remember, he did it during a time when the talent pool was global and deeper. He faced squads stacked with Hall of Famers, Spurs, Warriors, and still often prevailed. His era had MVP-caliber rivals like Kobe early on, Steph, KD, Giannis. Yet LeBron was the common denominator in every championship conversation for 15-plus years. That's dominance that transcends one team or one decade. He's been the face of the league across multiple cycles of contenders.
Jordan didn't just dominate the 90s, he owned it. 6 titles in 8 years says it all. When Michael was at his peak, nobody else got to raise a banner, unless he was off playing baseball. He stomped out so many would-be champions. Knicks, Pacers, Suns, Jazz, all great teams that in any other era might have won it all, but not on MJ's watch. The league literally had to wait for him to retire to give someone else a chance. LeBron's era has been more of a tug-of-war between multiple powers. He won some, he lost some. Jordan's era was a vice grip. He intimidated the entire league. Opponents talk about the Jordan fear. Did anyone fear LeBron that way? Teams changed their whole approach, even their psychology when facing Mike. And Jordan's Bulls weren't considered a super team by today's standards. He elevated the pieces he had. By contrast, LeBron had to assemble star coalitions to win multiple titles. When it comes to owning an era, being the undisputed alpha of your time weighs heavily in the GOAT debate.
Different decades, different landscapes. How do the judges see it? One more angle on eras: level of competition and style of play.
The league LeBron dominated was tougher in many ways. More teams, more international talent, and rapidly evolving strategies. He had to adapt to rule changes favoring offense, then adapt again as teams stacked superstars together. The East in the 2010s wasn't a cakewalk. He faced prime D-Rose, the Big Three Celtics, peak Kawhi, and Giannis later on. And out West, he eventually toppled a dynastic Warriors team. Yes, Jordan ruled the 90s, but that era had fewer teams, including some new expansion teams diluting talent. LeBron dealt with a league where any given night, even a lower seed could upset you. Style-wise, LeBron thrived in both the physical early 2000s style and the pace and space era later. He mastered them all. Drop peak LeBron into the hand-checking 90s with his size and skill. He'd be a nightmare matchup there too, and he'd love the lighter defenses of that era.
We can what-if cross-era scenarios all day, but consider this. Jordan didn't need to hop teams to prove himself in different contexts. He defined his context. The 90s might have had fewer franchises, but it also had brutal defense and a slower pace that punished anyone not mentally tough. Jordan took constant physical punishment and still dropped 30 a night. And those expansion teams, they never sniffed a finals. The teams Jordan vanquished were legit contenders loaded with all-stars. LeBron's era is more wide open offensively, which also inflates stats and longevity. Put prime MJ in today's game with no hand-checking and freedom of movement, and he might average 40. And about that fear factor. In any era, prime Jordan is the apex predator. Just ask the Hall of Famers who never got a ring because of him. Meanwhile, plenty of LeBron's contemporaries did win titles during his time. Duncan, Kobe, Curry, Durant. Jordan's contemporaries? 0 rings when he was in their way. Dominance isn't just numbers, it's aura. Jordan's aura defined an era like nothing we've seen.
The verdict on era dominance is in the books. Judges score this round. 4 chapters down, and Jordan's side still leads, but we've got one final round to shake things up. Advanced metrics and intangibles. This one's for the stat heads and the lovers of the game's mystique. Coming up now, final round, advanced metrics and intangibles. This is where cold hard numbers meet the immeasurable qualities of greatness.
You like stats? LeBron's got stats. Some advanced metrics tilt MJ's way by a hair. Yes, Michael owns the highest pair ever at 27.9 to LeBron's 27.5. But LeBron's overall impact metrics are off the charts. He's number 1 all-time in career value over replacement, total impact on games. Longevity boosts that, true, but being great longer does count. He's also ahead in total win shares. And consider versatility. LeBron's the only player in history top 10 all-time in points, assists, and steals. No one matches that breadth of contribution. Intangibly, he's the ultimate floor raiser. Take LeBron off a team, and they fall apart. We saw it in Cleveland and Miami. Put him on any roster, and they instantly contend. His leadership style is collaborative. He elevates teammates with his playmaking and basketball IQ. Maybe he doesn't have a cool, killer nickname, but he has a coach's mind on the court and an uncanny ability to handle pressure as a facilitator. And speaking of pressure, LeBron had the burden of being called the chosen one since he was 17, and he lived up to the hype. And that's an intangible legacy point right there. Few in sports history have had to carry that weight and delivered.
Advanced stats? Jordan pretty much set the gold standard. Highest PER ever, check. Better career true shooting as a scorer than LeBron? Yes, despite taking tougher shots in a tougher era. Box plus touch or minus, and advanced impact stats slightly favors MJ as well. But let's be real. Greatness isn't won on a spreadsheet. Intangibles are where Jordan separates himself. Killer instinct, competitive fire, the aura of invincibility. You can't quantify those. He willed his team to win at all costs and demanded the same of teammates. Sure, he could be hard on them, but he forged them in fire. That's leadership by example. And under pressure, Jordan never melted in the finals. 6-0, never needed a Game 7, always the finals MVP. That speaks to mental dominance no stat captures. Culturally, he changed the game and became a global icon of excellence. The Jordan mystique is the measuring stick for greatness. Even LeBron grew up wearing 23 because of Jordan. That tells you whose legend looms larger. When it comes to the soul of the game, that it factor that turns a player into a myth, Jordan is GOAT full stop.
The judges have tallied every stat and intangible. Here come the final results. In this debate, the AI judges narrowly crowned LeBron's side the winner, with a total score of 103.5 to 101.0. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Now it's your turn. Who's the real GOAT in your eyes? Let us know in the comments. This showdown might